4 years ago, Coach Ben Tomes set out to build a wrestling program from scratch at Custer High School in Milwaukee. During the next half hour, you'll see the results of his work as we follow Custer from the first day of practice all the way to the state wrestling tournament, all in high definition.
Nobody thought we could do what we did. Rise from the bottom to the top, city kids.
It's mid-January, a blustery Friday in Milwaukee, and the Custer crew prepares for another trek to outstate Wisconsin. The city kids frequently travel outside the Milwaukee area to wrestle the best in the state. This weekend, they're off to Coach Ben Tomes' hometown to participate in the Sturgeon Bay Duels, a grueling 5-team competition where there will be the class of the field as well as goodwill ambassadors of city wrestling.
We should take you up there and just have you.
The season is just about 2 months old. Having begun in late November with an orientation meeting and a practice, Tomes laid out his program's philosophy on the mat.
One of the reasons we're good is because we attack. We don't wait to see what happens to us, go out there and make it happen ourselves. We typically have problems if we stand and wait and let people pick us apart. So you're in here for Custer Wrestling, you're out there to attack and get after people.
The seniors in this talented group are Antoine McGee, Juan Perez, Chris Johnson, the Miltons, Lloyd and Ross, Marvell Taylor, and Nick Grady, the quarterback of the football team. Other than McGee, who started as a junior, the wrestlers have been with Tomes since their freshman season. But what makes them unique in a sport that starts kids in grade school is the fact that their first year with Tomes was also their first year as wrestlers. Junior Demetrius, a football star as well as Tomes' powerhouse, recalls.
And he just taught me how to wrestle. You know, he taught me like 3 moves my freshman year, and I just build on that.
My freshman year, I didn't really wrestle. Had like 10 matches, and then that was it. I was 9-1 in freshman year. After that, I quit. I came back sophomore year with some grades.
I went 0-11 freshman year on varsity.
They asked me to come out. I had nothing else to do, so I just came out.
Seniors on the team will comprise the first graduating class since Tomes revived Custer's program 4 years ago. There was no wrestling room, there were no uniforms, no coaches, and of course no wrestlers, at a school that was among the city's worst. Green Bay West Southwest High School coach Kim McDermott recalls wrestling Custer in the first year of the program.
Young kids, a lot of mistakes, a lot of pins, but we saw Custer today, and they're a world of difference than it was 4 years ago.
Seniors Johnson, McGee, as well as Junior Gaines qualified for the individual state tournament last season, but bowed out early. This year, expectations are higher. Early in December, the Cougars host the Custer Invitational, in which they compete against 4 teams, including city rival Bradley Tech, Homestead from Equan, and a very strong Kettle Moraine squad. Custer has little difficulty with Homestead and Tech, but Kettle Moraine treats them rudely as Perez gets pinned and others lose their matches. The coaches in the tournament, however, have been impressed with what Coach Tomes and Custer have been able to accomplish.
They wrestled out by us. They must have won their regional when I think it must have been their first, second year. They wrestled against Hartford, and I guess I was impressed with how athletic their kids were, but their lack of wrestling knowledge kept them down.
Bradley Tech's coach, Craig Bevilacqua, has seen firsthand what Tomes has been able to build at Custer in just 4 years. They've already won city and regional titles.
Last year, it kind of surprised me what they did, but then I finally got to know Ben this year more, and by getting to know Ben, it doesn't surprise me how the program is now.
And Homestead coach Ernie Merlard talks about the significance of what Tomes has accomplished.
His second year as head coach, they came up and won the regional, which kind of surprised a lot of people. Last year, they came up, won the regional, and qualified a number of kids for state. So I've really watched him. I've told him since day one he's my hero for what he's done down here.
One thing I think Ben has done with these kids is they just love the sport. And he's really taken his enthusiasm and love for the wrestling and he's instilled that in every one of these kids, and I think that's why they're willing to sacrifice and work at a sport that's not that popular.
Milwaukee High School coach Ed Kurt, who coached the Milwaukee Pulaski team, the last real dominant team in the city, concurs.
I think there's 4 things that really went into his success, and it's the same thing that goes into it. I mean, for anybody who's going to take a team from the city to a state tournament, it's probably the perseverance to keep working through the tough times, and then it's work, and more work.
In Milwaukee's inner city, where several kids beat a man to death last year, Custer has offered these young men an outlet, an opportunity to develop their athletic skills, their character, self-confidence, and self-discipline. Custer principal Willie Jude.
This young man has a means of making a positive impact on students, on Custer, and on academics. Because if you keep 60 out for wrestling, that means you have to also maintain the academic criteria that's required. Therefore, you're winning in all 3 arenas: academics, sports, and the kid life, because you're teaching them discipline, especially with kids that are highly envious.
Vice Principal Marie Newby Randall.
He's taken kids that I think the world would kind of chalk up as hopeless, and has brought them into the program. The taste of success for the kids, you can read it all over their faces when you see them on the mat.
County Supervisor Roger Quindell is a volunteer coach for Tomes. Quindell, a Custer graduate, met Coach Tomes when he wrote Quindell requesting funds for a recreational wrestling program.
Because a lot of these kids have tough lives. I mean, there's, 2-parent families are not the norm here. And with a lot of kids, we have kids who have no parent families. They're in group homes and foster care, and they've been in institutions. And so to turn them around, to believe in themselves, to think they have a future, that's just a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Senior Chris Johnson met Tomes in his freshman year at Custer, and in his sophomore year became part of the Tomes family.
My mother talked to my mother got in contact with him and talked to him, and next thing you know, around Christmas time, I was moving in, and had my big old garbage bags moving in with him, and it was different. I had to adapt and adjust to a lot of things they had to adjust to, because they weren't used to having no teen running around in their house. They don't know what to do with me and everything. And then it's pretty fun now.
En route to Sturgeon Bay, the Custer team stops to practice with the wrestlers at Luxembourg-Casco High School, a perennial powerhouse outside of Green Bay. Tomes wants to expose his guys to a program that boasts great tradition as well as first-class facilities and wrestlers like Brett Arendt, who had been working on the mat since kindergarten.
It's kind of cool to wrestle these guys, meet them, talk to them. They're kind of fun to talk to. They're funny guys. It's a fun time.
Luxembourg coach Bob Berceau.
It's nice having new kids in the room and little different styles and stuff, and it doesn't hurt either one because we never see each other. So it's nice to get a little different style and camaraderie between 2 different teams.
The thing I like for our guys is that I've always been very proud of our group in terms of what they are like as kids. They're fun kids. They're nice kids. They're very respectful kids, and they've got a great sense of humor to them. I like people to see that.
The guys spent the night in a Sturgeon Bay resort hotel. They don't always rate such fancy accommodations. In fact, they've been known to sleep in high school gyms, but with the combined Sturgeon Bay connections of their coaching staff, they got a good deal on rooms for the weekend. The team will weigh in shortly at the high school, but assistant coach Robert Bly already knows that Milton Lloyd will have trouble making weight. Bly, who calls Lloyd the world's fattest skinny guy, shags Lloyd outside to run off 9 ounces.
What Milton at, y'all? I told him, what Milton at?
Running.
What Milton at? Running where?
Somewhere in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin.
Well, we got some extra people or something.
Everything else is fine.
I feel pretty good. I just need to get a lot of liquids in me, then I'll be okay. I feel pretty good.
The city kids are the goodwill ambassadors of Milwaukee's inner city wrestling program, and as such spread their enthusiasm, their love of the sport, and life wherever they go. Sturgeon Bay being no exception. At ease with the role thrust upon them, they readily poke fun at themselves.
This is Chris, my baby.
This is cousin Marvell.
Yep. So these.
Where'd
y'all get your hats?
We got them from Lil. Okay.
You're not supposed to tell them that.
Okay, so
just say Love.
we got him from Love.
Love. Love's camp. Y'all don't know him. Y'all ain't gonna talk to him in the wild.